It's hard to hear you through that face diaper. Could you say that again?
You didn't have any trouble saying me when I said you f***ers are f***ing fascists, did you f***ing cunt?
Yeah, I'm hearing the hard F word loud and clear.
Good.
Yeah, this is something that we're passionate about, and we will die on this hill.
This is not your situation, and this is not a...
What is the situation?
The situation is you guys continue to be losers. Get the f*** out of here.
Oh, is that how you identify, or inform parents when it comes to their kids wanting to change genders?
No one f***ing cares about you guys.
Why are you shoving the sign in my face, sir?
Don't hit people with it.
Why are you all wearing disguises?
It starts with the children, and I have 3 beautiful children at home, and I can't imagine anyone trying to keep a secret about them from me. That would be just the most devastating thing in the world.
David Menzies for Rebel News here at Queen's Park in Toronto. And folks, I'm at the south lawn of Queen's Park. This is the site of a considerable counter demonstration to a gathering being held on the north lawn. That would be the 1 Million March for Children demonstration. Quite frankly, finally, Mama and Papa Bear have awakened. The demonstration on the north lawn is all about the indoctrination and the sexualization of children in our public schools, even Catholic schools for that matter. And finally, there is a critical mass that is saying enough is enough. Now, the thing is, there has been a blowback, particularly from the public sector unions. They have been banging the war drums for the last week or so, organizing this massive counter demonstration on the South Lawn. And I can tell you, for a group that brands themselves as love trumps hate, it sure didn't sound all that lovey-dovey with some of their Zoom call meetings. As a matter of fact, check out this union rhetoric in this short clip.
When they are gathering for their tailgate party in the mall parking lot, we've got a couple seasoned activists who've already said that they're willing to go over and take some pictures of license plates and these are people who are willing to do this. They're people who are seasoned and make sure that they know that they're being watched, that they're not doing this in secret, that people are noticing what they're up to.
In Ottawa, when Save Canada, Josh Alexander and Billboard Chris came, and I have a lot of great information to share and spread about what they did, how they organized, and how we counted. Our numbers were in fact a lot bigger than just a couple hundred. I think we had probably closer to 300 or 400, whereas fascists were indeed violent. And in terms of Ottawa, we have just planned a counter protest starting at 9 a.m. on the Supreme Court of Canada lawn. We chose this location because it's just adjacent to where they were building, and we are not in the business of defending the state from fascists. We are in the business of protecting communities and each other to ensure that the hate does not go unopposed in the streets. I mentioned the fact that this is absolutely crucial that we oppose this in the streets. And this is just signs that I've seen that we're rising, that this is far more than just like a far-right transphobic protest. They are fundamentally racist. They're fundamentally anti-union. They are fundamentally queer and transphobic. And it's just a matter of time before they come to us.
Unbelievable. In any event, we're going to wade in to both demonstrations. My betting is that we'll have a civil discussion with the Million March for Children people, and we will receive copious quantities of F-bombs by this group. That's just based on previous experience. So let's go talk to these folks and see what it is they have to say. Well, folks, we're at the north lawn of Queen's Park. This is where the 1 Million March for Children demonstrators have converged. And the first thing that strikes me is that we've come across so many friendly people who are willing to talk and not dropping the F-bomb and giving the middle finger. Also, what's notable, you can see members of the counter protests. They've come all the way up here, which is their right, of course, but so far they're behaving themselves. Yet we know that some of the union leaders have urged these people to follow these demonstrators and take down the license plate numbers of their cars. Now, why would they do that? Why would you espouse such intimidation tactics as that. So clearly it's not a two-way street. The demonstrators here, to the best of my knowledge, haven't gone down to the South Lawn to cause any aggro, but the same cannot be said for the Spirit Unicorn community when it comes to the North Lawn. Sir, why do you think it's important to be here today?
Well, for the sanctity of the human species, for the future of the human species, for the safety of the children. We have a situation where they're hell-bent and determined on ceasing procreation in the natural manner, and it's not good.
I want to be able to, I'm not speaking for the parents, but I think a parent should be able to be involved in their children's lives and the decisions being made for them, not secrets or anything being held behind closed doors.
We have to bring back sanity to the world, separate the children from this transgender movement, which is just representing evil.
Schools, unfortunately, will affirm a child, automatically without telling the parents. That's obviously another key dispute point. And unfortunately, these kids can go down the road of, gender-affirming medical care, which involves puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and in some cases, surgery. And our position is that children do not have the maturity or the life experience or the wisdom or the brain development to make a choice like that.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that position. I mean, if you're a child, children go through phases. If a boy feels he's a girl and vice versa, at the age of 9 or 10, maybe by the time they're 18, radically different viewpoint on the world. Why is it that the people at the counter demonstration, they are, their narrative that they're pursuing, Peter, is that you guys are bigots, you're haters, you're transphobes, but really you're just standing up, as far as I can see, for the safety of children.
Well, that's exactly what we're doing. And the thing that I would point out, it's kind of comical. If you want to talk about diversity, look at this side. Okay, we've got more diversity, more cultural, ethnic, religious diversity on this side. Over there, it's a bunch of white university kids, to be quite blunt, right? That's what it is.
It's important because I feel like if we don't do it, no one else will. It's just like with the Nazis. They came for, so-and-so, and I wasn't them, so I didn't stand up for them, and then soon they come for all of us. It starts with the children, and I have 3 beautiful children at home, and I can't imagine anyone trying to keep a secret about them from me. That would be just the most devastating thing in the world.
Leave our kids alone! Leave our kids alone!
Well, I mean, the sexualization of children, David, this is just another element of the war against mankind. This is the same World Health Organization, World Economic Forum agenda being pumped into our world. And I think this is a great fulcrum, because if we won't stand up when they get to the point where they try to sexualize kids and normalize pedophilia, then we're never going to stand up. So I think this is a red line that hopefully wakes everybody up, at least enough people to fully fight this thing, abolish the WHO, kick the World Economic Forum out of our governments, and reestablish democracy, rule of law, human rights.
Well, first of all, I support the concerns of parents who have young children. My children are all grown up, even my grandkids are grown up, but at the same time, I am concerned by what I see happening, and I support the movement towards making sure that the education of children rests in the hands of their parents, first and foremost.
And sir, what do you make of the other side? I'm speaking of the public sector unions, the teachers unions, the school boards. They have been vilifying and demonizing the people here. According to them, you're bigots, you're haters, you're homophobes, you're transphobes, and yet I'm looking, the counter-protest has moved from the South Lawn to the North Lawn. We are completely circled. I almost feel like I'm in Custer's Last Stand. How do you respond to this vilification of the caring parents that are here today?
But basically, I think that, as I said, the silent majority needs to stand up and push back.
So, folks, more of the LGBTers are headed to the North Lawn, and this is one of their messages, F off. How do you make sense of that?
Let's have debate. They don't want debate, though. They just want to ram stuff down our throats. Okay? I'm all about free speech, John Stuart Mill.
Well,
on liberty. Read it. Should be mandatory.
Well, you know, I'm with you, sir, but I mean, when we ask them questions, they have a hard time articulating their position and they resort to profanity. It's very odd because I thought a demonstration, you want to get your message out.
They're Marxist talking points, right? I read about this back in the 80s in books. Never thought it would come true, but here we are.
Yeah.
It's disgraceful.
Well, you know, I think you've said something very profound because Marxism 101 is to declare war on the nuclear family, tear down society, rebuild it as a Marxist utopia, which of course never happens. Is this what we've seen our school boards, our public sector unions, and so forth being infiltrated by hardcore Marxists?
Absolutely. They've said as much, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's no secret. Right? It's a one-way fight. They control the media, they control government, they control all the major institutions.
Well, I'm a representative of an international group called Police for Freedom, and I can tell you there are thousands of police officers in Canada that are parents, that have children. I'm a father, they are a parent, and you know, we also know and understand that young children are at the most vulnerable time of their lives. And the idea of indoctrination, being misled within the school curriculum, and the issue of gender identity is something left for the parents. You know, being left to the government and the education system, they don't always have your best interests in mind. They follow their paychecks, and clearly we see that from what's happening today. The unions and associations have declared these parent and children groups coming here to say they want to take control of their decision making when it comes to the sexuality and indoctrination of children. They don't agree with that. So they're now being labeled as a hate group.
I think that there needs to be, because in Parliament there isn't a party that represents the parents fighting for the protection of their children at the moment, whether it be Paul Revere denouncing someone for wearing a shirt that was saying that children need to be protected and such, and other parties actively going up against it. It's necessary for the people to take to the streets and make their voices heard if it won't be heard in Parliament.
We talked about this before, but it means that, you know, every time that a parent accepts their kids, the suicide rate for those kids goes down. Okay. Acceptance lowers suicide rates. We know this for a fact. There are dozens of studies showing that exact fact. Also, common sense. Let's be honest.
Trying to make sense of your sign, sir. Only cowards hide behind children to justify bigotry. What does that mean?
It speaks for itself.
I just don't understand what that means, though, in terms of the demonstration here.
Again, it speaks for itself.
You know,
your audience understands what it means. I don't need to explain.
Okay. 80% of Canadians, according to an Angus Reid poll, believe that schools should inform parents when their kids want to change their genders. Do you think that 80% of Canadian parents are bigots?
There could be, I don't know.
Okay. They could be. Okay. How about yourself, sir?
I don't know. I'm just here to support trans rights.
Okay. Man.
Yeah.
I notice you've got some communist literature there.
Yeah, they just give it to me right there. Yeah.
Would you identify as a communist?
No. I would say I'm more of a social democrat.
Social democrat. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it seems to me, you know, this is like a play right out of Communism 101. Tear down the family unit, tear down society, build it back up as a communist.
Read Marx. You don't know what you're talking about.
I don't?
No, you don't.
Okay,
you don't know what you're talking. You never read a book. I doubt it. Yeah. I doubt you've ever read a book.
I think you'd lose that bet.
Yeah. So read a book. Maybe you'll understand Marx one day.
Maybe I should read that literature.
It's just a pamphlet. It's nothing that important. It's just.
What's the moral of the story when it comes to that pamphlet?
It's just trans rights are human rights. That's what it says, you know?
And that's in Fight Back magazine, the magazine says the magazine of labor and youth.
Yeah, labor and youth.
Okay then. What do you think Karl Marx would say if he were here today, sir?
I don't know.
He lived like 200 years ago. He probably
didn't like gay people, okay? He was openly homophobic. Yeah, he was openly homophobic.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you. What did you say, sir?
Trans rights are human rights.
Is anyone saying anything contrary to that?
Yes.
Don't talk to this dipshit.
Who?
Back off. Get out of here.
I'm in a public park, sir.
No, we don't need to talk to you. Don't talk to them.
Well, why are
we say, they're going to twist it.
Why are you here? Hey, man, who do you think should have the ultimate say over children, parents or the state?
No comment.
No comment. Thank you, lady. Go away, Rebel. Oh, why is that? Hi, ma'am. Can you explain that sign? Don't be your child's first bully.
No.
You can't even explain what your own sign says. Again, we always see this. They have a hard time articulating what it is that they are demonstrating, or at least in this case, counter-protesting, even when it comes to, why are you so vulgar, sir? The middle finger is once again being thoroughly exercised on the lawns of Queen's Park. And I thought this was the Love Trumps Hate community. Funny that. Sir, what does that shirt mean, Army of Lovers? Sir, do you belong to the Army of Lovers? What does that sign mean, ma'am? Two-spirit, trans, non-binary, gender diverse? Say, guys, who do you think should have the ultimate say over kids, the parents or the state? I don't know if you know this, your sign is backwards. I can't read it.
Fake news! Yeah! We love fake news!
So, ma'am, what's your opinion? Who should have the ultimate say over children, the state or the parents?
Fake news.
Okay. How many children do you have, ma'am?
Fake news. Fake news.
Is that all you can say? I mean, you're at a demonstration or a counter-protest, but you seem to not be able to articulate yourself. Why are you shoving the sign in my face, sir?
Don't hit people with it.
And why are you all wearing disguises?
It's COVID.
Really? I thought the mask mandates were over. I don't know why this guy's getting so handsy.
You're going to get yourself in trouble.
Well, folks, as you can see, we're trying to get them to weigh in on this debate. I mean, I thought that's the whole idea of a counter-protest. I have 3 specific questions for them, actually. Why do they think the parents are protesting? Here we are again with the... here we go again. I think they're saying right-wing propaganda is over here. In any event, folks, I'm trying to reach out to the counter-protesters. I'm trying to find out why they're here. I actually have 3 specific questions for them. First, what do they think that the parents are protesting? Secondly, who should have the ultimate say over what is being taught to children, the state or parents? And finally, how many children do you have? But as you've seen, they are getting handsy, they're shoving signs into our camera, and again, they can't seem to articulate why it is that they are here, which is absolutely bizarre, because you would think they would want to get their message out to media, any media for that matter, but that is clearly not the case. But isn't that so telling of the far left and the radical transgender movement? It's not a matter of let's agree to disagree. It's if you have a contrary opinion, well, we're going to shut you down, even via violence if necessary. Incredible. So tell me, sir, who do you think should have the ultimate say over children, the state or parents?
Right-wing media is over here. Please avoid. Please avoid. Get away.
What is right-wing media, sir? I'm just reading the badges here. Big Dykes Energy. My pronouns are they, them, with an NDP logo. Shockers. And another badge, they, them. What's a they, them?
It's not something you would understand, apparently.
Please educate me.
I don't think that if I talked about it, you would want to understand.
By grammar, they and them, those are plural terms, but you're a singular person, are you not?
Yes, I am. And they, them has been used as singular for centuries.
Okay, then. So I'm actually am very confused. If you can explain what they them means to me, if you're one person, how can you by definition be a they or a them?
It has.
They, them has been singular in English for centuries. It's in Shakespeare. Shakespeare used they, them.
Okay, then. But
I saw Stacy the other day. Oh, how were they?
are you a they them, sir?
None of your f***ing business.
Oh, okay. Then why do you find the need to be profane? We're just having a friendly conversation here.
Because you f***ers are f***ing fascists.
On something you don't understand,
Yeah.
you don't want to understand.
It's hard to hear you through that face diaper. Could you say that again?
You didn't have any trouble saying me when I said you f***ers are f***ing fascists, did you f***ing c***s?
Yeah, I'm hearing the hard F word loud and clear.
Good.
Yeah, because this is something that we're passionate
So
about,
shut
and we
the
will
fucking
die
F
on
up.
this hill.
You're passionate about the F word?
About our rights.
Okay. How are your rights being affected? I'm not sure I understand that.
Because if you guys accept that we do not belong here, that means people who are further marginalized than we are, you think that they don't belong here.
Who is saying that?
Your fascist media?
Really, the fascist media is saying that? Well, I haven't heard.
Rebel News, the fascist media, yes.
Okay, thank you very much for weighing in. But again, what do you think? Who should be the final arbiter of children? Is it the state or the parents?
The state. I'm well in favor of the state because parents f*** people up. Here it is, okay?
Parents have
This is poetry. This is a poem by Philip Larkin, who was a poet laureate of Great Britain at one point, I believe. They f*** you up, your mum and dad. They may not mean to, but they do. They give you all the faults they had and add some extra just for you. But they were f***ed up in their turn by fools in old-style hats and coats, who by turn were sloppy stern or at one another's throats.
And the state gets it perfect, sir. I mean, especially in the state Canada is in right now, you would entrust, I don't know, the Justin Trudeau Liberals to govern your children.
Yeah, frankly, I think the state gets it right more often than some parents do. And if you really want to protect children, protect them from pedophile pastors, because there are more children being molested by pastors in churches than there are by gay people or trans people or any other kind of people. Okay?
We do not
So
support
you want to
this.
protect people, you want to protect children, protect them from the church.
Okay, then. But is the church involved in the demonstration on the North Lawn?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Okay, then.
There are actually several churches that support gay rights.
I thought it was a Muslim Canadian businessman that is the organizer of the demonstration.
Muslims can still be proactive and for trans rights.
Okay, then. But
You're kind
the
of
North
lumping a
Lawn.
lot of
You're talking
people
about-
into a lot of boxes, and that's not okay.
You're talking about the anti-trans demonstration.
Well, I don't think it's anti-trans. They're just standing up for their children being indoctrinated and sexualized in school.
That teachers and the state understands the children better than you, who their parents.
Hi, sir. I'm just wondering why you're standing in our camera lens. Oh, it's you again.
Free country, I can stand where I want.
Yeah, you absolutely you can. Speaking of a free country, an Angus Reid poll shows that around 80% of Canadians believe that schools should inform parents when their kids want to change their genders. Do you think that 80% of Canadian parents are bigots?
That's a loaded question, and I refuse to answer it.
I don't understand how that's a loaded question at all. It says 80% of parents say they want informed consent. Where's the loaded part?
You asked me if I thought 80% of parents were bigots. That's a totally different question. Ask me a reasonable question.
All right, how do you interpret the results of that poll then?
I'd say a large number of Canadian parents are probably misinformed.
Okay then, so they're not bigots, but they're misinformed. Okay. Thank you. And by the way, folks, this is another tactic that the loony left uses. They play music that will be picked up, they hope, by the microphone, and then when it's played on social media, they will issue a copyright grievance in the hopes of getting the movie torn down. So they are completely anti-free speech. They are completely tyrannical in terms of getting their message out, whether it's playing music, blocking our camera lens, or even getting violent or stealing signs. That is the Love Trumps Hate movement for you. Hi, sir. Why are you playing that music near our mic?
Get out of here. Come on, man.
Get your hands off me.
Sure, fine.
Not
Get
touch
out.
the microphone. Excuse me.
Come on. This is not your situation, and this is not a.
What is the situation?
The situation is you guys continue to be losers. Get the f*** out of here.
Oh, is that how you identify, or?
You have the one joke. You're so bad at this.
What is your identification?
Get out. Leave it alone.
What? Can't do that. That's a form of assault.
Oh wait, you don't like honking horns now? That's very funny.
When you put. And here is another form of shutting down the. Here's another form of shutting down the discussion and the media. Is literally honking a horn in somebody's ear. You know.
It's on tape.
Yeah.
We got it.
Sir, please volunteer your ear to put in that air horn. It's actually a form of assault, putting an air horn in somebody's ear and blowing it. And yet these police officers are not doing anything. Youth at all. Why do you give me the middle finger, by the way?
To you, so you can actually just fuck right off.
Oh, okay. Why are you so profane? I'm just asking you what your sign is.
I'm not interested in getting my message out on Rebel News because no one's gonna listen anyways.
An Angus Reid poll indicates that 80% of Canadians believe that schools should inform parents when it comes to their kids wanting to change genders.
No one f***ing cares about you.
Are 80% of parents bigots?
Nobody f***ing cares. Get out of my face.
I'm just standing here. You're coming into my face. Ma'am, what does that sign mean? No space for hate.
Where's your friend?
What do you think it means?
Pardon me?
What do you think it means?
I don't understand it. I mean, I don't. All the hate I see is really against me for doing my job.
I don't hate you. I'm just saying that this is a space. This is my house. I live in Ontario.
Okay.
There is no space for any hatred, bigotry, or discrimination of any kind here.
Oh, how are you keeping kids safe?
By protecting them every single day. I'm a teacher, and I will protect children every single day. What they're saying that we're doing indoctrinating, that is not true at all. Please stop using us to cover other issues that you have, like Doug Ford covering the green belt with the trans kids. No, that's wrong. Children's Day should be calling them, and on people who are spreading lies like you in your paper.
Okay, well, sir, I'll ask you a question. Who do you think should have the ultimate say over their children? Is it the parents or the state?
The children have the ultimate say because they are keeping themselves safe. Because if I send a child home, if I call the parent home to tell their children are questioning their sexuality, that parent, not all of them, but that parent could beat the crap out of that child. And I'll be liable. The Children's Day could be called on me, and I don't want that to happen.
But sir, don't we have age restrictions for everything? Liquor, tobacco, a driver's license, voting.
And coming out as it's like a tobacco thing? Are you out of your mind?
No, it's not a tobacco thing.
No, you're equating children with tobacco and liquor? Come on, man, get it together.
Are you an elementary school teacher?
Yes, sir, I am a proud elementary teacher of Toronto. My name is Rico Rodriguez. Wow. You can quote me on this.
And do you take pride in indoctrinating your pupils?
I am not indoctrinating. That's your words. I am not doing that, sir. That is bullshit. I am not doing that. I will never do that.
What school do you teach at, sir?
I am not.
Can I ask you, how many children do you have, if any?
I have one child.
Okay, then.
They're trans.
Your child is trans already?
Yeah.
How old is the child, sir?
They're 30.
Pardon me?
30 years old.
30? Your child is 30?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And yourself, ma'am?
I have 2 trans children.
Okay.
And these trans children are between the ages 6 and 10. Okay. And they have chosen to be trans and use they, them pronouns.
What will be your opinion if later in life they choose not to be trans?
Then that's their choice, and I'm going to respect it because I understand it.
Just reading your signs, what does that mean? Respect existence or expect? Is it resistance? Again, okay then.
Respect existence or expect resistance.
Okay then. Well, so what does that mean exactly?
You know these guys are fake media, right?
Are they?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I wouldn't give them the time of day.
I won't.
No.
Thank you.
This is odd. For a guy that originally was saying "get out of my face," now he's following us around like a lost puppy, basically telling people not to talk to us, which is his right. But it's also odd, isn't it? Folks, if you are sick and tired of indoctrination trumping education in our schools, please go to our petition and sign it. Go to stopclassroomgrooming.com. That's stopclassroomgrooming.com. As soon as we get a critical number of signatures, we shall deliver that petition to the powers that be.